It's freaking tea time, y'all. What's up?
Colors of Malaysia.
We are doing this big session here. Shout out to Drew for hooking this up. Drew, you are a true G. Let's see if we can get these a little bit sharper here. And so this is Teas We Like collection experience kind of a thing.
Yeah.
We are just gonna be drinking some Malaysian stored teas.
Yep.
So we're gonna go through here and get them all rinsed out here.
And as far as I could tell, at least, none of these are particularly well-known products, at least that I've heard of. But I think it was intended to kind of highlight Malaysian storage and kind of what that does to tea. So,
Indeed.
what are the teas? You want to read those off? First?
Okay, so we have the CNP yellow label on the far left here, the Manghai Longhe Chawan CNP red label, and that's the first two are 2003, 2004 CNP red label, and the Yawan
Fuyuan Cha.
Thank you. Yes. And I'm going to go ahead and just get these closer to the camera here so I can actually do this. And looking forward to this one. And let's do this for now. Bestowing the responsibility onto James.
Okay. We will not fuck up the order. Neither of us have had any of these teas before, correct?
Correct.
So, should be interesting.
Yeah. Brewing up significantly redder than last session.
Yep.
And we'll just go. Should we go right to left or left to right?
Your call.
Let's go left to right.
Okay.
So this is going to be the CNP
Yellow label?
yellow label. And here. And I eyeballed the grammage on these, but used up almost the full sample. Unfortunately, my guy ones are so tiny that it doesn't really quite make sense for that here. Okay. Ooh, wow. Quite hot. Oh, smells really, really quite nice. Very classic. Very fruity.
Wood, plum.
Yeah, lots of plum. Really noticing the sugar fruit on that.
It almost smells like an age too long to me.
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. So different than last episode. Oh my goodness. So fruity and sweet. So plummy. Does not taste like
What
Clear.
is this? What is this? Yeah.
Strange.
So weird.
Yeah. It does not taste like bassy at all.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what happens when you push this, but this is not what I would expect whatsoever.
No, interesting.
Yeah. Not even particularly earthy. I mean, it smells a little earthy, but...
Very sweet and woody.
And now we are on the Longhe Chawan, Manghai.
And get that about the same amount of time. Wow, so sweet. Uh-oh. Battery extinguished. Mid pour.
You gotta plug in.
Oh yeah, BRB. Pause.
There we are.
Okay.
So steep one of the Longhe Chawan. This one smells more like pure.
Yeah, still smells really sweet and bright though.
Get a lot more of a woodsy tone to this. I mean, I guess that's the beauty of Malaysian storage. Is like if you do it in this kind of certain way, then you can maintain some bright notes, but also significantly mature the tea. Although that first one is very, I don't know, genre bending.
Look at how red that looks. Cheers. It still tastes like confusing weird oolong.
Really? To me, this tastes a little closer to what I expect. This one tastes more like antique wood. It's not particularly burly. Neither of these are particularly burly.
Quite relaxed.
Yeah.
First one there. Look at that red complexion. Really cool. Interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Make sure that we stay in order here.
Red Mark.
Red
Label, 2004.
Wow. Okay, now this smells much more like puer to me.
Okay.
Get on the nose on that.
Okay, interesting.
CNP, these older productions, I mean, were they still considered like kind of like so-so productions even back then?
I think it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
You know, I think there are some the better ones that can compete with Mung Hai Tea Factory, but like compared to Mung Dai Tea or Mung Hai Tea Factory back then, the level, the median production was not on the same level.
I like the naming of this, Colors of Malaysia. I also just, from the, man, so nice. This is like,
Yeah.
filming is pleasurable just to look at the tea. Here we go. Well, first two teas definitely passed the mom test in my book.
Well, we'll see. I wonder if these are the teas that start out a little softer and
fair.
And pick up.
There's a little bit of astringency.
The one on the left, in particular, the yellow label, that's one that has really perplexed me. I feel like the Mung Hai Long Chawang, I feel like that's a profile that I've seen, even though it has a kind of unique Malaysian-ness to it.
That smells lovely to me.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's a big aroma.
Yeah, there's kind of a yayan incense, not quite smoky Boulong character to that, but like some of that deeper incense kind of vibe in this for sure. Ooh, wow. Beautiful. Okay, I'm looking forward to this one the most. Not that the first two weren't pleasurable, they're just a little bit weird. This one smells like it's gonna be familiar.
Cheers.
Cheers. A little bit thin, but I'm hitting these with boiling water.
All these have a brightness to them. This one, yeah, it's a little thinner in terms of the body, but it does have kind of a nice resinous backbone to it.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see where all these go. And then finally, the Yaoan Fu Yuan Chang.
All of these have a really nice sweetness that comes. That last one, the red mark there, a little bit more of a sourness to it. Not substantial, but just a little bit more sour. Some tartness to it. I'm not doing the best job of getting all the various shots in here, but we'll show the core of this one. That last one tasted the most like puer to me. More astringent too.
I would say they've become progressively more and more poorish as we've gone on. Cheers.
Cheers. Interesting.
Smell this.
Wow, a lot of vanilla. God, honestly, like when I think of Malaysian storage, I don't know if I think of any of this.
More like leather on this one?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Well,
The double lions? I mean, double lion is probably the one Malaysian store tea that you drank.
yeah, fair. I guess I kind of expect a bit more of a danker character. These are surprisingly
They're all pretty
clean.
bright, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do they all feel like relatively the same storage to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Silence. First impressions.
The first tea in particular, I don't know what to make of that first tea. That was a very strange first tea. And honestly, the last tea, I'm having a hard time putting that together too. The middle two, I feel like I have somewhat of a grasp on. To me, at least, the one in the second one feels like it has Munghai in the title, and I can sort of see why they would have Munghai material there. It has kind of that woody base that I'm used to. And then the third one, kind of like you said, it is very poor-ish.
Those two are my two favorites of the four so far as well. And I'd probably do, well, I don't know. These two for me taste quite different.
Yeah.
In terms of like wanting on a daily basis every day, because like I still don't reach for the Yaoyan every day. I probably would still pick the second one. So that's the Menghai tea.
Yeah.
This last one was much stronger.
I mean, and it's interesting the way that Storage just shapes all of these characters somewhat differently. These are all pretty distinct from one another.
Right.
So it's a little palette confusing to have them all like this too.
Yeah.
But quite interesting. So we are going back to the weirdest of them, in my opinion.
Yes. And we'll push this one a little bit here. Where am I going?
Yeah. I mean, this will really test to see how much of a poor backbone it really has to it.
Much darker.
What the heck? It really smells like an aged oolong. Like that plum character.
Yeah.
It's so, yeah.
It's weird.
It's really weird. Yeah.
I mean, I love the fruitiness of it.
And you push that decently hard.
Yeah.
And it's still not a super dark color.
We'll see if it has any wood on it.
Cheers.
Cheers. This is like barely pu'er tea. It's very weird. I like it.
Yeah, I like
Just
it too.
strange.
I don't.
It does not taste like pu'er tea.
Yeah.
There's no bitterness.
It's weird, yeah.
There's like
I mean,
zero bitterness.
it's possible too that now that we're having more proper pour experiences that there is bitterness. It's just a 1 on the scale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're evaluating these as pours, so I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know that I love it based off of that, but it is interesting. It doesn't taste bad. Yeah.
I mean, there's like there's the kind of like poor astringent bite to it.
Yeah.
But mostly it's just like super sweet up front.
Yeah. Very plum heavy.
Very plum, some light wood.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, like you could be describing a nice aged oolong right now and be like, yeah, that sounds tasty.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly not what I would think of like a factory pour, which I'm assuming it is, but maybe that's incorrect.
That was the CNP.
Yeah.
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 Weird. Darker.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Cheers. It's so much darker in its formation. It still maintains a lot of that brightness, but I feel like the base of this is like kind of this somewhat funky wood
That is nice.
that I quite enjoy.
I like this a lot.
Yeah, this to me, I mean, it's more. You said this one is a little tweenish too. For me, at least, this feels like pu'er.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it does now. Dye-esque.
I could see it.
The wood is very light.
Yeah.
So you said dark wood. I get kind of it's stronger.
Yeah.
But I get like a little bit of light complexion on the wood. Personally. Not that it matters, but
It doesn't mean you're wrong. You know.
well, besides that,
you know, being right.
yeah, that small technicality of I'm correct and you're an idiot.
Guys, this is the last episode of TV. Just into the James Rage quit.
Yeah. Man, interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I like that one. But the storage is just done dramatically different thanks to these profiles.
This series is quite fascinating. You know, the one thing I'm noticing is just how red the leaves really get.
Yeah, it really does darken the leaves. I mean, I think something like this is what people are aiming for when they hotbox.
Yeah.
Do heated storage.
Sure. Nice. Quite sweet.
And so this is now the red label, CNNP.
Also, let this one hang out for a second. One thing that's true about the aged meat storage on these is that they feel like we can push them immediately. None of these are even close to being abrasive in the same way that, you know, any intense Boulong would be, for example.
Sure. I mean, even the shotguns we had last episode.
Yeah.
Like, including the red label.
Yeah. Even the 03 red label.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed, yeah.
Much burlier. All right. Oh, man, that just smells so classic to me. Really does have a Boulong character to it.
The Munghai Langhe Cha Wang, you would say, is a little bit less Boulong and a little more of just kind of generic Munghai.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
100%.
agree,
Yeah. This doesn't have the barbecue or smoke as much, but the incense wood, I think, is really strong on this.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of chocolate wood antique furniture going on.
Yeah, definitely the antique furniture. Yeah, chocolate note as well. Cheers.
Cheers. I kind of, I don't know, maybe it's because you imprinted in my head, but I do see the Boulong through line here. It kind of has more of a steady strain of bitterness. Pretty quick conversion.
Yeah. Maybe a slight hint, a bit more sourness than the Munghai one.
Yeah, definitely a little more sour.
But it's a good sweetness that comes.
I would say I like these middle two the most.
Yeah.
So far.
Let's do the.
Yeah. The last one, so I know that Fuyun Chang is like in old operation, but this would not be the same as like the antique version. But I believe they specialized in Yiwu tea, so I do wonder a little bit if it is a Yiwu tea, and that's why it's presenting a little differently. This one didn't cross me as like weirdly oolong-ish as the first tea.
Yeah.
It was just a bit different than the ones that came before it.
Yeah. So like I would say that the CNNP yellow mark.
Who knows?
Don't know of anything
what
confusing. I mean, it definitely looks like pork. Definitely, you know, it's in the cake, but otherwise, a little odd. One thing that's worth noticing is that boiling water every time, immediately pushing these. We did one rinse, immediately pushing these hard. All of them managing it really well.
Yeah.
And for something like the third tea, the red mark, CNNP red mark, that I think has a bit more strength to it, still even then really relaxed. So that to me is maybe one character of the Malaysian storage that is noticeable, is just how much these cool off. Now, of course, we're at the age where we're also, you know, these are fairly old teas. So we're now noticing that these teas are naturally a bit more relaxed as well. But
yeah.
Yeah, I think that Munghai one is my favorite by like a good stretch.
Okay. The last one's a little drying. It
I
feels
agree.
A little less.
Yeah.
Like.
But again, Boulong for me.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This one's even more sour.
I think that it's a fine tea, but I don't love the profile. There's a it's not oaty, but like a vanilla mid-range thing in there.
I could see that. Yeah, it's
tastes like Boer though.
It's a fundamentally different profile. The body's decently thick and satisfying, but it's a little tart. It's less dense, I would say, than both of the previous two teas as well. So I'd say in this context, it does kind of lack a little bit compared to those two.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Let's pull these off and take a look.
Yeah. I mean, I think my favorites still are number 2 and 3, which would be the red label as well as the Munghai Langhe Cha Wang.
Now, noticing again the colors of Malaysia here. Man, the far left CNP yellow mark, really, really red. That almost purple.
Yeah.
They're all pretty far along. I mean, maybe interestingly, the kind of red mark maybe has a little bit of the most green in it. I don't know. I'm not noticing any like strong green character at this point. Either there's kind of like wood or nothing, like in the first one, for example.
Yeah.
But there's nothing, maybe a little bit of a peatiness that kind of is a classic Rob Poor character, but nothing like diesel or grass, nothing even close to that. These are all past that at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I could see them having that too, like 15, 20 years ago. But
right.
No longer.
I think if I had to rank them, I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. I'm a little more undecided between 1 and 2, but the 3 and 4 would be the same. 1A and 1B would be there. I think the second one is probably the smoothest and most drinkable between those two.
Right.
But the third one, the Red Mark, had enough going on where I was like, okay, it's got my attention.
Oh, it's definitely nice. Both are nice. I could see myself drinking as if I could have that be a daily.
The Red Label?
The Menghai.
The Long Hai Chow.
Long Hai. That's just such an easy profile for me to drink. Right. Just so simple, but delicious.
Right. And I do know Teaser has sold full cakes of these. I have not checked if they're in stock or not. It might depend. I don't know that they've sold full cakes of all of these either, but you can check them out.
I gotta encourage everyone out there to do these kinds of sessions. Either figure out a way of organizing this for yourself at home. Think of a theme, get some tea buddies on Discord or somewhere to do that, and then pool resources to establish something like this. These are some of the most instructive ways of learning about tea. The blinds of 7542, tasting a storage from a specific area. Just having Fatai or Feitai versus classic Shagwan character. Finding some of those comparisons to figure out, okay, I'm going to learn a little bit about the essence of what this is, whatever it is I'm studying. They're so informative. And you're really far down the tea rabbit hole. Like, you've been doing this for a long time. You know a lot of the character of this stuff. And I got to think, even for you, it's probably still useful to be doing this kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, like, having a purpose to a session or a focus, I think it's really valuable.
Right.
And I think it can be very instructive. I mean, even this morning I compared a 2001 and 2005 Shagwan Iron Cake, so that's how much of a crazy person I am.
There you go.
I'm filming like 6 teas with Denny later.
Yeah, oh my God.
I gotta get through these iron cakes. Yeah.
One thing that you say that I appreciate as a sports analogy is just getting in shape. And you have to drink a lot of stuff to be in shape, basically. So of these two, which one do you want to do first?
Let's go reverse. So let's do the Red Label first.
Perfect.
See how that does.
And we'll let this one hang out again for a second.
Yeah, I have not read anyone's opinions on any of these teas, so it'd be interesting to look up. But I'm really curious about people's opinions of the Yellow Label.
Yeah, I wonder what. Yeah, I mean, it probably has good reviews in the sense that it
tastes good,
tasty. But is it what you think of?
Right.
Right. It's kind of like why those Baifu Zongkong teas are so polarizing.
Yeah.
Gotta
little tea berry there.
Man. Really nice. Aroma on it's really perfumey and delicious. Of the classic Malaysian teas that I've had, because I associate double line so much with Malaysian storage, it's hard for me not to think of the double lion in this case.
Well, I think Double Lion is a tea that is a good example because it's really perfectly suited towards Malaysian storage. It's like you store that in Kunming or something. It's just like a
brutal.
Yeah.
Vom.
Cheers. I see it. Yeah, the body and the incense. To me, this is probably more like what a blue peacock would taste like Malaysian style.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Not quite as intense.
Totally. Exactly. Yeah, this one is just kind of more like an 8 out of 10 in terms of volume if you compare the 10 out of 10 being Double Lion, which that one goes to 11, as they say.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe not a fair comparison, but really nice. One thing that I like about this one is that it actually, I think, has a little bit less sourness than the Blue Peacock, which I had fairly recently.
Yeah.
The Blue Peacock. Those ones are, in general, I think, it's one thing that is true, it seems to me, that Bulong does have is a little bit of that sour funk.
Yeah.
Which again, is coupled with so much intensity.
Yeah. Good strength.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, even something like Munghai blends in general, you might expect a decent amount of oolong to be blended in there, just because it is a pretty core component of Munghai.
Yeah.
Munghai Tea Factory in general.
Excuse me.
I think I am going to end up probably agreeing with you that this is the nicest to drink right now.
Mm-hmm. I think it just appeals to our collective sensibilities in terms of just like classic character and flavor. It's got a bit more funkiness and
yeah, it does.
The sweetness compared to something like an Iwu, it's it's not quite as sugary sweet.
Yeah. It's like a furniture shop that's like off the river corridor or something. You can smell that humidity, but we're not submerged or anything.
So, but lovely plum on this, fruity. Cheers. Yeah.
The chocolate. I mean, I don't know that it wins at any one characteristic, but the balance of this tea is a winner.
So nice.
Yeah.
Almost flirts with Hongcha kind of character to it.
Oh, really?
For me, a little bit.
Okay.
That fruitiness to it is, and the chocolatey thing to it. It doesn't have nearly as much of that kind of like earthy, spicy character, and like you've had a lot more reps on that recently, so not nearly as pungent either.
Yeah.
Or floral. Definitely a fun session. Very interesting. Okay, re-rating these. I think my rating stands.
You gonna give them a my TDB rating too?
I'd probably give the Munghai one a 7.5.
Okay.
7.5, 7, 6. I don't even know. Question mark?
Maybe a 6.
It's not a 5 because it's better than average, but it's like a strange. It's one of those tweeners where it's like really. It's like, how do you describe a white cake, black cake, tea cake blend? Sure. It's like, I don't know.
And also, it's like you'd have to session it a bit more on your own or whatever, rather than like this.
To your point,
yeah.
I wonder if this tastes much more like Puer after like having nothing else for the day. You know what I mean?
It really is a weird one though.
Yeah,
at least showing very weird. I mean, we did just 2 seeds, but still, it doesn't seem like it's changing at all. I would give the middle 2 probably A's, so that's 7 out of 10, and then the other 2 probably B's.
Yeah,
all pretty solid stuff.
Yeah. Definitely enjoyable and worth trying for sure. I think this one's it's a little expensive to get into, so maybe you want to split this kind of.
It was sold out. It's sold out.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you can. The cakes are around, and I don't know if you can buy the cakes or you could trade someone for these.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's one of those where it's interesting because it's just very instructive too. I mean, like I appreciate that about Teas We Like, selling sets like this.
Yeah. Are any of these a buy for you today?
No.
Same.
Yeah.
I have enough similar flavors on these kind of teas, I think. The Munghai one is nice, I have to say.
It's good to get the reps on though, because it's hard. It's not too easy to access Malaysian storage even today. So having it and just coming to a deeper understanding of it.
Drew, thank you, bro. Appreciate you. This was a long time coming. This was sent way too long ago at this point. I do blame newborn baby, but deliciousness will be
no
had.
Excuses, Denny.
Yeah, no excuses.
Don't use your newborn again.
Yeah, I've been working on the app and I just, oh God.
I expect 400 Dennysodes this year.
You better get filming. Dude, we'll see how it goes. Again, Drew, thank you, dude.
I don't know what that means.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Based on the last few days of tea drinking, I might have quite a bit of content to be producing here near term. Subscribe, click all the buttons. We'll see you guys next time.
Cheers.
Peace.